Hello again, it's Noob, and today we get to look at a cheap Chinese set of sort of jiggler keys slash warded lock skeleton keys. So yeah, an interesting set. I got this from AliExpress, not a sponsor, for a very, very cheap price, and you'll probably have seen sets like this on other Chinese websites that sell this sort of stuff. Now, what I want to say first of all is I think a number of these profiles, these pin tumbler jigglers, so we've got a combination of warded lock skeleton keys, pin tumbler jigglers, and then in the middle here you've got wafer lock jigglers. Now, it's clear to me just from the profiles here that these seem to be a clone of the Southall pin tumbler jigglers, which I've not used, but I can see from the pictures that these profiles are remarkably similar. So in terms of numbers, what do you get? Well, you get 5 warded lock skeleton keys for opening up warded locks, just 2 wafer lock jigglers, think filing cabinet locks, tool chest locks, that kind of thing, and 9 double-sided pin tumbler jigglers for all your pin tumbler locks. But I think it's easier to show you how they work. I'm going to do a few demos based on the locks that I just have around me. I'm not going to go searching for a whole bunch of locks, just a few locks I have around me just to see how well I think that they work. And then once we've done that, we'll come back with some conclusions. So first up, let's look at these warded lock skeleton keys, which to be honest with you, look exactly the same as pretty much every other warded lock skeleton key set I've ever seen. So they should work okay. And you can normally tell warded locks like this because of their giveaway keyways and these odd square cut keys. And for this master lock, I'm going to use this classic dog leg skeleton key. So this normally works okay in this lock. See, that's not working very well. Let's try another set and I'll show you what I mean. So put that in, turn, open. Get this one, put that in. I can get it, but it's just that little bit harder. And there is a reason for that. There we go. If you look, it's just that little bit longer. Just a little bit, but it's enough to make it slightly more awkward to use. And you can see that that extra length actually makes it a little bit harder to get the key in through some of these keyways, but it does sort of work. That being said, you can always use an alternative. It's just that that was one of my favourite profiles. And one more, using another one of the tools. So yeah, they do work, although I do wish this was a little bit shorter. I suppose I could file it down. And this one, I couldn't find any use for it at all. Compare it to another one which actually has slightly more prominent lugs, and you can see why this is somewhat useless. There's only 2 wafer lock jigglers and they're very, very similar profiles. This one at the bottom is ever so slightly smaller than this one, but other than that they are virtually identical, and if they're squished together, I imagine they act pretty much the same in a lock, but we'll try and open some simple wafer locks with these. And this is the kind of wafer lock you might find on a filing cabinet or similar. And we'll go in with the rake and we'll try to pop that in and give it basically turn it slightly while jiggling. Oh, that's getting so caught up in here. That's horrible. Can you hear that? Sounds like I'm sawing through the lock. Oh, we did get it though. We got it. We turned the lock, but oh, that was rough. Yeah, you can see like some metal filings on there. Gross. I'll try another one. Yeah, we got it. It did open, but these are so sharp, it feels like I'm sawing through these locks. So I do have a vintage wafer lock padlock. I think it's called a Yale Junior. I'm going to see if I can't open it with these jiggler keys. The problem is that these are just so flexible that every time I try to turn it and jiggle it at the same time, the tines sort of just cross over. Can you see? It's pretty horrible. So even if I can rake it, I don't know if I've got enough torque to open it. I'm going to try to an advice for stability, but it's not looking good, is it? No, that's horrible. I tried this on another vintage wafer lock padlock and yeah, no luck. It does seem to work better on those filing cabinet cam locks. So now I guess it's time to try the pin tumbler jigglers. With pin tumbler jigglers, it's all trial and error. You would find a lock you didn't know the key for, you'd put the jiggler in, you would pull it back and forth, you would jiggle it up and down, all while providing some torque. If that doesn't work, you turn it over, you try the other side, then you go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until you either got an open or it didn't open at all. So this can be a lengthy process, but let's just see whether I can open some locks as I have near me with this, and we'll get a feel for how effective they could be if you're willing to go through the trial and error. So let's start out with this Portuguese JLK padlock. I've got this jiggler key here, and I'm going to hold it quite firm, because what you need to do is apply torque and jiggle the sort of jiggler key up and down in the keyway, maybe even sort of rake it back and forth or find the right position. And you got to just bit of trial and error. Oh, we got it. There you go. So it does work. What about something like a 6-pin Euro cylinder? Not a guarantee, but guess we'll give it a go. Now, these don't require as much turning force, so you can just try a few profiles out, give it a rock, give it a wriggle, give it a rake, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, and you've got to try a different profile. Oh, but we got it. We got it. I didn't expect that at all. Let's compare this to the key. Maybe I found a position where it was just close enough, maybe? Maybe, yeah, somewhere. I mean, it is sort of a jiggler, a rake. You don't set all the pins at once, but getting close to the bitting is probably where it's at. I have this baton shuttle lock, so let's give that a go. I don't know what I need to do, but I guess just stick that in, give it a wriggle and jiggle. Oh, yeah, we did get it, look. So I have this Squire padlock, which has a much more open keyway. So this should mean that I get the tools in a little bit easier. Using a vise for stability, and just going to go in and see if I can't jiggle this lock. Oh yeah, I got it. There we go. I started to feel that these are maybe more suited to things like these American style kick cylinders. So I've got this profile, and this did work earlier, so there we go, got it. And that's the bitting for that. And finally, let's look at this little Master Lock 575 in brass with this wave-like profile here. So this is another wide open keyway, and this slides in very nicely. Oh, yeah, there we go, got it. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed those demos. I think it's time for some conclusions. I normally do the good things first and then things I don't like after that. So good things, they do work. So in certain locks, these do work. They are okay. You might be able to see there's a little bit of a twist in this one where I've been trying to use it. So maybe they're not the strongest of metal, but they're thick enough that they are relatively robust, which is also in some ways a negative point for it, but we'll come on to that a bit later. So things I like is that most of these profiles do work as intended. The warded lock profiles are all perfectly serviceable, apart from this one here where the little lugs or ears either side are just not pronounced enough in my opinion. And this dog leg, which is normally my favourite, is just a little bit too long, but probably could be filed down. After all, these are not expensive. How much, you ask? Well, I got these on AliExpress, not a sponsor, for about £3.70 delivered. So yeah, you do get what you pay for here. In terms of these Wafer lock rakes, they seem to work okay in some little cam locks that you might find in filing cabinets and those kind of things, but they're very low security locks, so that's not unexpected. The length of these tines, if you like, is a bit of a problem. They tend to flex an awful lot, so when you're jiggling and turning, they do tend to twist in their own way. Just being a little bit, maybe the cut here being a little bit shorter would be so much better, I think, but they do sort of work. Now these pin tumbler jigglers, they are interesting because they do surprisingly work pretty well in a number of locks, not all locks. And I suppose that, like all jigglers, you do have to put up with the fact that if you didn't know the key bitting, then you'd have to do trial and error on all of these and go through, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18 different sides. Never mind how deep you put them into the lock and what jiggling motion you use. So it's quite a lot of trial and error, but they do work in some surprising locks I wouldn't have expected them to work in. And so there is that too. But that does bring me on to some negatives. Negatives are that these are almost certainly a copy of Southord's Pin Tumbler Jiggler set. And I do trust Southord. I've used a lot of their picks in the past, and I haven't tried them, but I almost guarantee that they're going to be much better quality than these and be much better finished. I do need to get a set to review though to make sure that that conclusion is fair. But these profiles do sort of work. But yeah, I hate the fact that they are basically a clone of somebody else's work. So some of these profiles are slim enough to go into Eurolocks, ones with paracentric keyways like this. But there's a number of these profiles which are just way too tall to even think about going into some of these locks, and also too thick. So this is a relatively thin keyway, and there's no way that this tool could even think about getting into here. These are much better for locks like this, where you've got a nice wide open non-paracentric keyway. And if these were based on Southord's profiles, and Southord are based in the US, I imagine that these are more designed for the more open keyway US locks. I did try some of the slimmer profiles on locks like this little Abus, but there's so few profiles that would fit in here that I couldn't get even this bitting, which isn't too extreme. So for example, a profile like that just won't go into the keyway. It looks quite slim till you try to get it in. So yeah, it's a mix of these sort of nice slim profiles which do have a chance of getting in there, but if they just aren't the right sort of profile, they're not going to open the lock. And then there are other profiles which you just can't get into these smaller keyways whatsoever. But I suppose that is the same with a lot of jiggler sets. They're not going to work on everything. It's also worth noting that I could only really get into probably 1 in 5 locks I had around me at the time. So in conclusion, they are cheap. They are at least thick, even if they're not made out of the best steel. So they are relatively robust. And they do work in a number of locks, which is okay, I guess. They work obviously better in more open keyways than more paracentric thin keyways, but that's to be expected. I don't like the fact that they are an obvious copy of somebody else's work. I do feel that they are a little bit too thick. They're very poorly finished. But I guess really whether you think a set like this is worth just having around for the price, that's up to you. I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you hate clones like this? Do you think they're worthwhile for the very cheap price? Would you have a set of these? Have you tried a set of these? Let me know in the comments down below. I do read them all and reply to as many as I can. If you haven't subscribed, now's a great time to do so for more content like this. Hit that like, smash that notification bell. Otherwise, stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.